Yo, what's up everyone, it's Dexter. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, I'm gonna just be doing everything track. I'm gonna be watching track videos, reacting to track videos, and not even, but mostly my videos, my races, and I'm gonna just be reacting to them, like watching along with you guys to give y'all an idea of, what goes through my mind, what I think about when I'm racing, and just how the experience is for me as an athlete. So in this video, we're gonna start with, this video is gonna be my regional qualifiers and state qualifiers for USATF and AAU, so that's 4 meets, and pretty much all my events from there. I'm just gonna be watching along, telling you what I was thinking, how I was feeling, and yeah, so let's get into it. All right, so my first event I'm gonna start with is my long jump at the AAU district qualifier. This was at West Mecklenburg on the second weekend in Charlotte, and I jumped 21.7 was my best jump that meet. I had like a couple 21 lows, but 21.7, 21 feet 7 inches was my best jump that whole weekend. So I'm gonna just watch. I think this was the 21.7 itself. So it was my first jump too. And what happened with these jumps? I got like 3 or 4 videos of these jumps, but actually there were only 4 jumps. So the first jump I did was a 21.7, and then I like to pass my second 2 jumps so I can get ready for the finals. But with this, I was gonna pass, but then I realized there were only 4 jumps, no finals, so I just went ahead and took all my jumps. But first jump, I thought it was gonna be a really good jump. It only ended up being 21.7, which is solid, but I did 21.7 last year AAU district qualifier. So a year, that's literally like what, 365 days with like no improvement at all, and it was still good enough for first, but I was trying to go 22 that meet. So the first jump was all right, and so I went to, my dad recorded for me, so I went to go talk to him and just see what film I could analyze to try and get a better jump. And I learned that my foot was dragging, which if you keep watching, you're gonna learn that's a really big problem with my jumps. But it was an all right jump, so I'm gonna go on to the next jump. All right, this is my second or third jump. I think this was a 21.2 or 3. 21.2 or 3. And you see I land, my foot drags, and I'm like, because I know at this point, I know my foot is dragging, and I'm not trying to do it, but I know it's happening. So as soon as I get up, you can see that's what I'm looking for. But it was like right back there, and they could have marked up here where I landed, but it was right here because that's the farthest put back. So this, you can just see the look on my face. I'm just mad because I know my foot's dragging. I know I could do better than that. So I wasn't even, when I know it's a bad jump, I kind of just walk away. I don't even really care about what the mark is going to be. All right, and then this was I think I only ended up doing 3 jumps. I think I only got 3 on video. But this was pretty much just the same as the other jumps. My foot dragged, and it was not really special. You can see I'm really just staring to see where I landed and if I can get any more inches. But it didn't work out, so it was just, when you already win, it's like, okay, like I'm walking away with the goal. I wanted to do better, but it was cool. So I ended up winning this competition. I got gold. I got the medal up. I'm gonna go get the medal. This is the medal I got from this competition right here. I got gold, 21.7. Wasn't my best, but happened. So that was it for that meet and the long jump. And then now we got the 100 and 200. Okay, so this is my 200 now. You can't really see into the curve. You gonna know when it's me, trust. But I'm in all white. I think I was lane 4, I believe. This is my first 200 this season. So I ended last season at 23.2, 23.29. I did that at Adidas last year, and I started this school season with 23.3, and then this race ended up being a 23.04, and this was enough to get me to regionals. But I just let y'all watch it. I just watch it along with y'all. I thought this was gonna be I felt so good this race. So I'm in lane 4. You gonna see me basically immediately. I'm right there, and I'm just eating up the curve like crazy. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to go crazy. Like this is about to be a 22 mid or something. Coming off the curve, I didn't really hug the line as well as I should have. But that's something you got to practice, and I had practiced that at that point. You see, I'm coming out. Watching this video to this day still makes me so uncomfortable. I was running so upright and so tight for no reason. Like if you watch my old races, especially from last year and the beginning of this year, I just run like with my shoulders up, like with a mean face and like this. I don't know why I do that. And like in the second half of the season, I just started relaxing and just running open hands, relaxed face, relaxed shoulders, and it just makes me run so much faster. So watching old races and watching me just run so tight, run straight up, it's so weird to watch, and I don't know why I do it. But yeah, that was a 23.04. I was disappointed, and honestly, I felt really bad after this race. I was like laying down. I gave it my all, And the way they have the clock set up, I hate this. The clock is way, way, way behind the finish line. And you have no way of telling what your time is unless you hear it. They're going to say it, but after a race, you can't hear anything. I like your ears ring for 2 or 3 seconds. But especially if it's a hard race. But the clock is all the way back there, so I have no idea what I ran. And then my friend tells me he's at the fence. He tells me I got like 22 men. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I don't know why he said that because that's not what I ran. I ran 23:04. And I was like laid out after this race. I was tired, and everybody else for the rest of the heats was just jogging at faster times. And I was like, I gotta get faster. That was going through my mind right after this race. But during this race, I was just giving it my all and running really tight for no reason. So, and even if it was a bad race, it was a learning experience to just relax. More races, more reps. I feel like last season, one of my big problems was I didn't have enough reps, and just running more reps, I ran 5 200 last season. I think I ran at least 10 this year. So more reps is more important. It's just important to me. But I ended up getting 11th overall at district, and top 16 went to regionals. So I was in for regionals. But yeah, that's it for the 200. Now we can go on to the 100. All right, so here I am with the video of my 100. Now I will say, well, first, just a disclaimer for all the videos and all my videos, all the videos of me and the videos that I make. I have some videos, I don't have all of them. Some of them are really good quality, some of them are bad quality, and some of them are just alright quality. But yeah, I just thought I should let y'all know. So not every race is gonna be great quality. But this is the 100 final at district because I don't have the prelim. But I'll just talk about the prelim. So prelim, I went 11:21, and that was a PR at the time. That was my first 100 of the club season, and it felt really good. But I had no comp at all, and I didn't feel any comp. And I didn't know, sometimes you have comp and you just don't feel it, you don't hear it, like competition. And for those of y'all that don't know what that means, but that race, I never had any. And I checked the results, and the fastest person in my heat went 12:4 when I was doing 11:2. So there was literally nobody close to me, and there was only 4 people in my heat. So that's why I didn't feel anybody. But this is the final. I'm down in lane 1. You can barely see me, and the quality of this video isn't great. But let's go ahead and watch it. So lane 1, I'm out the blocks. All right, bro. And then I think I just popped up too early. And at this time, this is before my start got really good. So I just got rolled. And also another thing, I was focusing on the dude in lane 2, but he runs 10. He runs 10.5 now. So I knew I wasn't beating him. And this was I was just talking about repetitions earlier, but this is a really important lesson I learned this race, that you got to focus on your own race. And I knew that, but it just reiterated it for me. You got to focus on your own race, because if you focus on the dude that's half a second faster than you, he's gonna beat you regardless, no matter what you do. So if I just focused on my own race, I probably could have went a little bit faster. I went 11:10 this race. Probably could have went 11:08, something like that. But I learned an important lesson, and I left district qualifying in all 3 of my events. So it was good meet. District is not all about getting great times and winning. It's just about qualifying. So I qualified to regionals, so that's what matters. But I'll go watch regionals next. Okay, so here I am at regionals. This is the last weekend in June, first weekend in July. It was right in there. This is my long jump. That was my first event. This was on a Friday, and I think I only jumped 20 feet 9 inches. I had an off day because the long jump and 200 were right at the same time. So I when this happens, when I have events that conflict each other, I just especially if it's an event I'm really long jump, I could walk to a win in long jump. And I competed in probably 5 or 6 long jump competitions this year. I was top 5 in every competition but one. So I can do long jump, so it doesn't require a lot of focus. So when I have 2 events like long jump to 200, I really put more focus on the 200. So even though I was jumping, I was already focused on the 200, warming up, stretching for it. So this was just the jump to kind of qualify, get to the next round. And I believe this one was 20 feet 7 inches. And this was my first meet with the Trackhawks. I attached after AAU district, and I attached in time for regionals. But yeah, this was just an average jump, nothing really special. It got me 2nd place, I believe. My foot still dragged a little bit, but that's a problem that I've been working on fixing later. It's not, you can't fix everything in one meet. So I was working on fixing that towards the end of the season, but mid-season I was kind of focusing on other things. So this was just a slight jump. I ended up getting 2nd place, and I wasn't too pressed about it. But now we can go on to the 200 I've been talking about. I don't have any videos. So for regionals, AAU regionals, I did long jump, supposed to do the 100. I got DQ'd, false started. I'll talk about that. 200, and then 4x1, and I had to get thrown on the 4x4. So, and because I didn't contest the 100, I was able to do the 4x4. But I don't have any video. I have no videos of the 200, but I'll just talk about it. So the 200 prelim was that Friday, like right after this jump, maybe 30 minutes max after the jump. I had to run the 200, and I ran 22:53, I believe. That was my prelim time, and thank God I was in fast heat, because my teammate had won the heat, had won his previous heat. He went 22:58, and he was only 7th. So I was glad I was in fast heat, but that race was the weirdest race of my life. And this meet came right after the USATF State meet, and like what I did, I had terrible recovery, because USATF State meet, I ran that Saturday and Sunday. Then I got back in the gym on Monday, practice on Tuesday, practice on Wednesday, rest on Thursday, running on Friday. So my legs were dead, and I ran the 200, and it took me, I realized when I got out the blocks, I was like, oh my God, my legs are dead. I literally walked out the blocks. And I never, in the 200, the curve is I run the curve better than I run the straight, as you can tell probably from the 200 I showed y'all. But like, I never can really feel myself accelerating out the curve. Like, I know I accelerate, but it's typically gradual. Like, I had the biggest acceleration I've ever felt out the curve in this race, and that just shows how slow I was going, that I could feel it coming out of the curve, because usually I can't. But I ended up going 22:53 in the prelim. That was good enough for 6th, so that advanced me to the final. And then I don't have a video for the final, so I'll just talk about that. I was lane, this happened on Sunday, and I was lane 7, and lane 6 false started, and that was crazy because I had false started the day before, and false starts were just going off in every event it seemed like I was in. And it was like I was paranoid, but I kept telling myself, just don't get bottom 2, because top 6 advanced, and there were 8 people in final. So I told myself, just don't get bottom 2, don't get bottom 2. And then lane 6 false started, so I was like, just don't get last in your internationals. So the race got off. I ran all right. I think I did 22:54 that day, 55, something like that. It was 22:5, and I did all right. I ended up getting 6th, so I made it to nationals. And it was an all right race. Wish I could have gone a little bit faster, but I just didn't have the start. And out in lane 7, the guy I was chasing ran like 22:9. So like everybody, all the 21s were behind me, and it was just, I didn't have much to chase. And I tried my best, but couldn't get it. So, but I mean, I made it to nationals. So, you know, I was just talking about that with district qualifiers. The point of qualifiers is to qualify. You're not trying to PR and win every single race. But, you know, so I accomplished my goal of going to regionals, which is go to nationals. So the time wasn't great, but I advanced, so that's good. And then now I'll show y'all what happened in the 100. Okay, so this is my 100. We're setting the blocks, and I told y'all this is when I false started, and I'll just go ahead and skip to the false start. So what happened was, again, I told you this is my first meet with the Trackhawks. So that means I'd only done maybe 5 practices with them. And what my coach did was he changed my blocks. My block setting a ton. I'm here in lane 8. So he changed my blocks, and I was not used to it at all, because my hips, in the blocks, my hips used to come way, they were never high enough in the blocks. So he fixed that, and it was uncomfortable. And this is my first race ever doing it. So I'll just go ahead and skip to that point where I'm getting in the blocks. Where is that at? Okay, so we're getting in the blocks here. Lane 8. I'm typically the last one in the blocks. And again, first time using this block setting, my hips are so much higher than they've ever been. And I'll just show y'all. Y'all can just watch it. So you can see I jumped. Somebody actually, so I'll tell you what happened. Honestly, when this first happened, I hadn't seen the video or anything. I just thought that I fell, because like the position I was in was so uncomfortable, and it was so like I was not used to it at all. So I was like, honestly, I probably just fell. But I watched the video back, and it turns out that lane 7 actually flinched, which made me jump. But flinching is, by the AAU rulebook, is technically legal. So you can move your body, you just can't move your feet off the block. So if you watch, he moves his body, but I move my feet. So that's why they called me for the false start. So I was out of the 100, but that was great, because now I was able to run the 4x4. That was really a blessing in disguise. But and then after this race, I was so upset because 11:3 ended up making the finals, and I thought you would have to run like 10:9 to make the finals, and 11:3 made the finals. So I could have been a 10th off my PR and still would have been comfortably in the finals, but I false started. So I was so mad after this race. And yeah, but that's when it gets, this is, you know, I've talked about what slow times in the 200, average jump, and then getting false start out the 1. Those were 3 bad events. But then the relays, I'm about to show that. That's when this meet really got good. Okay, so here's the relay. Now, I said I have bad quality videos, good quality videos. This is one of those bad quality videos, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm first leg, right? And this is actually terrible luck. This is like terrible. I'll show it. But if you notice, okay, so I'm out there in the red. I'm pointing, like you can see my head. I'm out there in the red. You see, I fly out the blocks. And I will tell you this, out of all the tracks I've been to, all the tracks, all the football stadiums, I've seen maybe 5 times where there's a bleacher sitting on the field covering the first leg, covering the curve. Out of all the times I've run a relay, which has not been a lot, but all my times in track, the one time I'm running first leg on 4x1 is the one time that there's a bleacher blocking it. But it is what it is. I was lane 5, and I just let y'all watch. But I came around so fast. Like, you can see how, I don't know if you can see how fast I'm moving. I'm moving real fast. I get the baton to our second leg. And then our anchor actually said I was moving so fast. He said he heard the gun go off. He looked back, and the baton was already in second leg's hand. But yeah, this is when we went 42-7, which was at the time number 1 in the North Carolina, and it was number 7 in the U.S. This was 42-7, and yeah, this was really just a great race. Like, I was happy. I don't know, you probably can't see me. I was running across the field cheering my teammates along, but I was just ready for us, because at district without me, they had gone 43 high, I think, or no, 43 mid or 43 low. But the fact that I could join the team on our first race, we could go 42-7 was great. And also, a little story time. This race wasn't even supposed to really happen. The venue we were at, we had to be cleared out by 2, and by 1:45 they were on like 8 and under relay. So they were like, we're probably gonna push the order kids to the next day. So everybody's ready to leave, and then they say, never mind, we're just gonna run everybody today. So we had to go straight to the track from just sitting around, because they just called us out the blue to run the relay. So the fact that we were able to do 42-7 with no warm-up time, with no prep time, was just like, that was unbelievable. I was so happy after this race. And that was the same day as my 100th false start, so it really kind of made up for it. I was feeling great after that. And this is the same, and this is a gold medal I got for that. Okay, so, I'm gonna mention this every time, but there's good videos, bad videos. This is one of those bad videos. But this is the 4x4 that I did at the end of this AAU regional qualifier meet. So if y'all don't know me, I'm a mostly 100, 200 runner, and then long jump, right? I basically never run the 400. I stopped running the 400. I used to be running the 400 when I was like 10 and 11. The 400 was my event, but last year and this year I dropped the open 4. So when the team told me they needed me for a leg, I was like scared. Like, I was like, I really didn't want to do it. I was like, there's no way this guy can run. And like, I'm gonna always do that. And anytime it comes to a 4x4, like, it's kind of just, it's funny to be like, oh, I really don't want to run this. You see like the memes of the kids hiding because they don't want to run the 4x4. But when it comes down to it, when you got to do something for your team, you'll do it. We're right here in the red, by the way. I'm anchored, by the way, so I'm just talking till we get there. But our first leg ran pretty well. Our second leg, he got out so slow. I was like, oh my God. But he ended up splitting like 50 points. So it was all right. It turned out being fine. But he got out so slow. I was like, oh my God. And honestly, like, when you're anchor, the 2 times that I don't run the 4x4 a lot. I've only run 5 4x4s my whole life. All 5 of them were this season. 2 were indoor with school, and then I did 3 outdoor with the Trackhawks. But when you run the 4x4, I was second leg in school and first leg in school. So typically I like running first leg so I can get it out of the way with. But I was anchor because I did replace the anchor, and I was so just watching everybody run. You see our second leg finally sped it up and got us into first place, handing off the baton. And I was just I was just sitting there on the fence. You can barely see me, but I'm just sitting right there, leaning up against the fence, just ready, just thinking like, oh my God, I really got to run this 400. I was really dreading it, but we had a good lead, so I really wasn't scared. I was just like, okay, just don't get walked, because that's the main thing in the 4x4. Just especially at a qualifier where you don't got to set a crazy time. At that point, just don't get walked. Just don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass the team. So that's all that was going through my mind right now. And I was just like, don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass the team. Just run a good leg. I was trying to split like 50 point. That was my goal to end up. That was the goal. That's the thing I wanted. That's the time. Oh my God, that's the time I wanted to split. But so here comes our third leg. down the home stretch, and I'm anchor. Now, going through my mind in this race, I'm trying to see if I remember. This was like a month and a half ago. So I get the baton, I get out well, and I'm just like, for the first 100, I'm just running. I'm just running, just moving my legs. And then it really hits like right here. I'm like, okay, I'm on a 4x4. I'm running the 400. And I was like, okay, I can do this. So I kind of opened up my stride, and I'm still kind of going hard, and I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. I think that's my coach right here. I think like as soon as he said pick it up, I slowed down. I slowed down for like 50 meters, and then I decided to kick right here. I don't know why I slowed down when he said that, but I decided to kick right here. And then you see I'm kind of bringing it home here, coming off the curve strong. And this ended up being a really good leg for me. And this really, like, this event made me realize that, okay, I really kind of like the 400 again. And I like the 4x4. You know, I haven't done it before, or I haven't done the 400 in a long time, and I haven't done the 4x4 really ever. But I do kind of like these events. And we ended up going 3:25.5, and that was our time. I ended up splitting 51. And that just capped off a great meet. So I walked away with 3 medals, and I'm going to nationals all my events. Long jump, got second, and I'm going to nationals. 4x1 first, going to nationals, and then 4x4 first, going to nationals. So I walked away with 3 medals, and I'm going to nationals in all my events and the 200. So I was just happy to go to nationals, and I was just happy to, you know, support the team and contribute to a team, you know, because I had been running unattached. So contributing to a team was important to me. State. Okay, so this is the 100 at the USATF State meet. Lane 7. And this race, I think I went 11-1-3 or 11-1-5. It was it was like 11. It was 11-1-3. Yeah, it was 11-1-3. And I kind of just got out well. I popped up like 2 steps too early. My coach was cheering for me, so the video got kind of messed up. But you see, I'm just like in a crazy lead coming down, and I was so upset. I was so mad, because when you run across the line in 100, it's just like you're not really tired. So you just run across, and as you see, I just kept going. That's I always did in 100, because I'm never really out of energy. So it's more like exciting, and the adrenaline of seeing what you ran, and you can see the clock there. Pointing again, the clock there, and there's it's my face cam's in the way there, but there's a clock on the side of the track, like, yeah, you can see it right there, and then there's another clock like up. It's a big board, and as soon as you run across the line, you're just trying to see that. And I ended up going 11-13. I was like, it was like, okay, a little bit off my PR, but I had no comp, and I know what I did wrong, so I wasn't like really stressing over that race, and I was just ready for the finals. And there's no video of the finals, and I ended up going 11-13 in the finals as well, and I ended up winning. It was a photo finish. Dude, bro, I wish somebody got the flick, bro. It was like I ran 11-1-3, like 2 or something. Dude in second ran like 11-1-3-4. It was like so close, and I beat him out. And I didn't lean, and that's the thing I learned about leaning this year. Like, it takes practice to lean, and I'll tell y'all why later, and maybe in another video. But it takes real practice to lean, so I didn't lean. And we just both ran through at the same time, and I nudged him out. I think he did end up leaning, but it didn't matter. But bro, if I had that picture would be on a shirt by now, bro. Like, it was such a close finish, bro, because I had him, then he had me, then I had him again, and bro, I just love that race. So even though I didn't PR, again, another qualifier meet, I went 11-1-3 twice. So that's consistency, to go from 11-2-1 to 11-1-0 to 11-1-3 to 11-1-3. Within a couple weeks. That's consistency. That's the literal definition of consistency. So I couldn't be mad, and I qualified. So that was that. So now we're going on to 200. Okay, so this is the start of when my videos started to get a little bit better. USATF States. I'm in lane 1 right here, all black. I'll just go ahead and skip to the beginning of the race. Let me see. And actually, you can see right here the official's talking to me, bro. I think I almost got DQ, because he said no runouts, but I just did a step out. Like, I didn't run. I didn't go past 2 meters, but he said no runouts, and I just thought I could do a step out because everyone else did a step out, but I almost got DQ in this race, and that was scary, especially considering this is only my second race of the season and my better event, the 200. So this is me in lane 1, and my PR at the time was 23:04, and this race I ended up going 22:45, and I just blew it out the water. You can see I like got out just crazy, and then I didn't run the curve too tight because lane 1 you can trip on that rail if you do, but I just got up the curve and I just kept moving and moving and moving and moving. Was moving my arms, moving my legs, all that. I did everything I needed to do, and I was so hyped after this race, bro. You can see here, I just run, keep going, bro. I was so happy. 22.4 to be going 23s, to just skip past 22 high and go straight to 22.4. I just felt so happy after this race. I was like, yeah, I was feeling great after that 22.4, bro. It was an amazing race, and that honestly made me like the inside lane in the 200 because I run a good curve, and I like catching people. So I think my favorite lane is the 200, honestly, 1, 2, and 3. And this race is probably most of the reason why, especially for lane 1. But yeah, I had a lot of fun this race. So we also do the final, so I can show y'all the 200 final too. Okay, so here's the 200 final. I'm in my Trackhawks uniform for the first time at a USATF meet. I'm in lane 5, and now this race was all the long jump, the 100 and the 200 final. 100 final and 200 final were all within an hour of each other. So I was really tired on this race, not to make excuses, but just to let y'all know what was going on. And you can see from the beginning, this was just gonna be a bad race. You can look at me in set. My hips are so low. It's like my hips are the low. I have the lowest hips in the field, and you're supposed to get high hips when you're starting. But my blocks had already been messing up earlier in the 100, and I was exhausted. So I really wasn't even thinking. I was trying to do this race on pure speed, and that didn't really work. So yeah, I was tired. So I didn't really have much else. And you know, it's crazy when you're tired. You should really probably focus on technique. So I don't really know what I was thinking this race, but I just go ahead and let y'all watch it. I'm in lane 5. The fastest guy in front of me is lane 4. That's Noah. Me and him are cool. You can see he just walked me immediately, bro. Like, immediately. Out the curve, he already caught me. And that's the thing about me. And not even just me in general. I think this is the thing about a lot of sprinters, especially 200 runners. You know, for the 200, you got the guys that come from the 100, go up, and you got the guys that come from the 4, go down. And so he's a 4 guy. He's a 4, then 2 guy. I'm a 1, then 2 guy. So the 2 is both pretty much our secondary event. Well, I don't think the 2 is my secondary event, but like the 2, like I don't really know how to explain it, but basically what I'm trying to say is just like when it's like 4 come down to 2, 1 go up to 2, that's when you have some really good races. But the thing about a 100 runner going up to the 2, if they're not, 1, if they don't win the curve, and 2, win like the first 170, they're not gonna win. Because if a 400 runner in the 200 is winning after like 170, then they're just gonna have it. Like the 200 runner or the 100 runner needs to be in the lead till about 180, 190, and then that maybe is when the 400 runner will come in and do something. But if the 400 runner has you caught at 120, 110, the race is over. So yeah, that ended up being the race. Ended up getting second in this. I wasn't too excited, and I only went 22.5, which was slower from the day before, so I was a little upset. But again, I qualified, so I came what I did there to do, and that was USATF States. And long jump, I forgot to talk about long jump. Long jump was nothing special. Again, when like me, not to brag, but when you're so good at long jump, you don't even got to focus on it sometimes. I think I just jumped like 20 feet 9 inches, and that got me a silver medal at that meet, and I qualified, so I was happy. But that meet was second in the 2, second in the 100, second in the 2, second in the long jump, first in the 100, and I qualified in all my events. I ran 2 PRs, or I ran 1 PR, and then so it was all right. I was nothing crazy, but this was in the middle of when I had this is the first meet of when I had 3 back-to-back meets. So it was really, I was trying not to put too much on my body, but yeah, it was an all right meet. And then I showed the medals too. Okay, so for this meet, I got this silver in the 200, gold in the 100, and then silver in long jump. Those were my medals for this meet. But I'm not gonna lie, USATF district has had the USATF States have had these same medals since I started running like 7 years ago. Nothing has changed, and they're nice, but I'm trying to see a little change. But yeah, that's USATF States. So now USATF Region Championship, Region 3 Championship is next up. Okay, so here we are. This is the Region 3 Championship 200 prelim. I'm out all white, lane 7. This was an empty race. I don't know if there was like one guy in lane 3. He false started. He was out, and then the rest of the lanes were empty anyway. But this race was the start of the 3rd consecutive weekend of me running, which I never do, by the way. So this was like a lot. I knew this was gonna be a lot on my body, And this race just felt great. By this time I had about 2 weeks of practice with the Trackhawks, so my start was really getting a lot better. And yeah, I'll just let y'all watch the race. Oh, okay, of course this wants to happen. Okay, here I am, lane 7. I get out well, and then honestly, bro, I got out so well, and I just love watching this race, bro. The way I just extended the lead and all. And honestly, bro, I have never run. I don't think I've ever run with less effort. Like, I got out hard. I got out for the first 5-10 meters. Then I kind of like, not relaxed, but I kind of like let off a little bit. And I was like, oh wait, I gotta run. And I kicked again out of the curve. And honestly, out of the curve, I never accelerated. I just kept my stride. And I'll just let y'all finish the race. I kept my stride and I stopped running. Like, when I got to that 20, bro, I stopped running. And I essentially walked through the line. And what felt so good about that, I walked through the line and I ran 22.46, 100th off my PR. And I was like, if I can do that jogging, then my full speed is about to be crazy. And like, after this race, I just felt so good, you know, because 3rd straight week, I thought my body was going to be beat up. I thought that was going to be hard. But the fact that I went 100th off my PR, that's probably the least effort I've ever put into a race ever. And to be able to walk across the line and still go 22.4, I was feeling great for that weekend. So 100, we can talk about the 100. Oh no, I have videos for the 100 and the 200 final. So we go ahead and watch those. But yeah, I felt great. I was like, this is about to be a good weekend when I ran that. Okay, now this is the final at the Region 3 Championships. This is honestly one of my favorite races this season. I'm in lane 5. Noah's in lane 4. This was just like district. It was like a rematch sort of. And funny story, this whole day, the whole final day of this meet was just crazy. This was running at like 6 p.m. and it was supposed to be running at like 2 p.m. But there was this huge storm that happened in the middle of the day, and it threw everything off. So everybody came back with fresh legs, and I just knew it was about to be a great race. So okay, I really wish we would stop doing this, but here I am in lane 5, and I just let y'all watch it, bro. And you can just compare my hips in this to the ones last time. They're so high up, the highest hips in the blocks compared to the lowest last time. And I just shot out the blocks, caught first dude immediately, no problem. Caught second dude, no problem. I was catching third dude. It was leading off the curve. And again, when I'm the 100 runner, he's the 400 runner, I gotta be leading till about 170, 180 at least. And then it's getting close. We're going down to the line. And it's like so close. And eventually he got me, bro. He did 22.22. I did 22.23. It was like this close. If I leaned, I probably would have got it. But like 22.2, I was feeling great. I thought it would be a little bit faster, especially when you look up at that clock after you run. You see it says 22.1, but it had to get, official, and it had to be adjusted and all. So I thought I would have gone faster, especially because he went 21.9 in the prelims. So I'm like, if he's going 21.9 and I'm beating him, and because at the time I still thought I won, I was like, okay, so I probably went 21.8, and it didn't happen. But again, I qualified. I can't be mad. So I had a good race, and I got the silver medal in the 200 for that meet. So it was all right. Now on to the 100 and long jump. Okay, now this isn't the best video, but it's a video nevertheless. So here I am, lane 4. And I just go back to the start. It's not a great video, but it's something. So lane 4, started the race. What I'm thinking is there were so many problems with blocks. Even in the prelims, I think they restarted us 3 times because blocks were slipping. So I was just like, don't let the blocks slip. So I had to get somebody to stand on my blocks. And then from there on, I tried to do what I do best. I had a pretty good start, popped up at the right time. You can see I'm in the lead. It's real close, and I pull away in the lead and come across the line, and it says 11 flat, bro. I was so mad. And I knew I won too, but I was trying to go 10.9, and the official time ended up being 11.04. And I was just like, I was so close. But hey, I won district, I won regional, I won states, I won regionals and the 100. So I had something to be happy about. And I qualified, so the 10.9 would have been extra, but to qualify and to PR and to win gold at both meets was incredible. So I was just happy that I won, but I was like so close. It's like happy because I PR'd and I won, but I could have went 10.9. It was so close. So yeah, and then this is the gold medal I ended up bringing home from. I guess I can bring it closer. Gold medal I ended up bringing home from this event. And yeah, onto the long jump. Okay, so this was actually like a bit of a special jump. This jump ended up being a 22.3, which was 1 inch off my PR, and I hadn't sniffed 23, or I hadn't sniffed 22 all outdoor season. I jumped 122 in April, then I was jumping 21s and 20s, and even some bad 19s at school. But you know, this was my first 22.3. This is my first 22 of the outdoor club season. I just felt great, and I ended up getting a clap on this jump, which was my first time getting a clap. And I just felt great, honestly, because honestly, I just won I don't know why I'm saying honestly so much, but I just won the 100. I was already in second place, and if you look, if you look at those clouds are so dark up there. It was like this jump happened like 10 minutes before the like craziest thunderstorm ever. So you know, I was like, meet's finna get delayed, maybe canceled. I already just won the 100. Let's just have fun. So I was just like, you know what? Let's just get a clap going. So I ended up getting a clap going. The crowd reaction. The crowd reaction is like the best thing ever. It's amazing. But yeah, I just ended up doing that. I was like, you know what? Why not? Just go out there, have fun. I was already in second place. I already qualified. I was just like, you know what? Do a clap. And it really helped me. I think I really think it helped me jump that 22.3. So yeah, I walked out, but I still only walked out with the silver medal. But you know, and at the time I was super happy because they called it. I was like 22.8. I heard 22.8. Apparently it was only 22.3. I was this close. And I think that would have been gold if I jumped 22.8. But you know, I qualified, got silver. I got a clap, and it was just having fun. And, you know, especially at meets in Durham, at home. I have a lot of meets in Charlotte, anywhere else, but at home, at Durham, with friends there, family there, people I know, like even the competitors. I go way back with all the competitors. So it was just a fun experience overall. But I think that's it. Yeah, it's been a really long video. That was my AAU district experience, AAU regional experience, USATF state experience, and the USATF region experience. Hope that provided y'all some insight of really just what I go through, what I'm thinking about, how I'm feeling after these races. So I really hope that was helpful. I'll have the national breakdown coming next, Junior Olympics. I'll do the USATF and AAU in the same video. I do the same breakdown kind of style, same thing. I'll break it down the same way. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Let me know what y'all want to see, what y'all want to see more of, less of. Just let me know. Talk to me in the comments below. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.